my loves, and welcome to this episode. So I want to talk today about the next steps in manifesting whatever it is that you want. So hopefully you've listened to the previous episode about getting clear on what it is that you want to attract and what it is that you want to create. And now we're going to start to look at any conflicts that are in the way. So I'm not going to take you through my process on this because it is really in depth and I need to be ideally with you to help you through this as well. But we want to make sure anything that has come up for you, anything that says, I can't have this, this isn't possible, any limiting stories, any narratives that have come through as you have been setting those goals and intentions, we want to clear them. Anything that's in conflict when you say that you really want freedom, but actually one of your top core values is certainty, then perhaps there's a little bit of a mismatch. So you want to make sure you're checking for conflicts, you're checking for any beliefs that are perhaps going to be sabotaging you or holding you back, but also any kickbacks that you are getting from not having this manifestation come through. So, what is the secondary gain of actually you staying how you are and nothing changing? Because we'll be getting something out of it. Okay, so you want to make sure you're clearing those conflicts. There are a million and one ways in which you can do this. So I have my lovingly named Get Unfucked Rewire process that I work on with my clients that is based on psychology, it's based on biology, it's based on breaking habits and stories and narratives that we have deep within our psyche and our subconscious. But you can also use your favorite tools. So things like EFT, tapping, meditation can help, journaling can help. All these wonderful tools that we have available to us. You might have your own belief squashing method as well. If you've ever worked with a coach or a mentor, they may have taught you their own methodology also that can really, really help you. There are tons of resources out there in which you can do this. Now, my Get Unfucked Rewire is quite in depth, and there's also different channels that we can go down with it, depending on the person, depending on the barrier, depending on the belief block that we're dealing with. So it's not a one size fits all, which is why it's quite challenging, I would say, to put it into a podcast because some of the strands may not work for you depending on where you're at. So it's something that I ideally need to be sat in front of you to work on with you. Which, if you ever want to sample that, you can work with me either one-to-one or jump into the academy as well, where we do that quite frequently when we do our hot seats and things like that. So clear your conflicts, clear those beliefs and stories that are holding you back. And a lovely way that you can then do this and flip the script is to collect your evidence. This is one of my favorite tools that I use, and we want to try and prove that our new beliefs, that our new stories, that our new, much preferred narratives are true and that the manifestation is already in motion. So we can start off by disproving any stories that you currently have. Is it true? Is it an actual fact? If you came into my court of law, could you prove it as being true for every single person on this planet 100% of the time? And I would put money on the fact that you probably couldn't. So collect your evidence that disproves your current narrative, that your current, I don't like the word blocks, but your current barriers, your current obstacles, disprove those and collect evidence that your manifestation is already in motion and what you would prefer to have as your internal narrative is in fact more true. Now, there's some beautiful universal laws that you can connect to work with this as well. So law of synchronicity, the law of divine oneness, again, when you're connecting to your expanders and your role models, there are wonderful universal laws that are often overlooked in this particular stage of the process. So definitely check those out as well. Universal laws, I think, will be an entire other podcast. It's actually going to be an entire module, probably 2 to 3 modules actually in the academy. So there's a heck of a lot of them and lots of different ways that we can work with them as well. So we're not just working with the law of attraction. Remember that. So we're collecting our evidence. Okay, so your manifestation is already on its way. Remember, you've also got the law of gestation as well. So check that one out also. So we want to then start to act as if we already have it. This is working with the law of potential and aligning you with this desire. It's aligning your frequency, just like we spoke about on the previous episode. And this is somewhere where people really do get in a bit of a muddle Because when we say act as if, we are not necessarily talking about faking it, nor are we talking about being reckless. Because if you were, let's say, you're manifesting becoming a billionaire or being in a very different job role to what you're in. Okay, you're manifesting becoming a surgeon, let's say. And if at the moment you are, I don't know, working in a supermarket and we say, okay, you're going to act as if you're a surgeon. Um, this could go horribly wrong, couldn't it? I don't know where this random little metaphor is coming from, this little story or illustration, but you can probably see where that's going to go. So if you then walk into your supermarket job and start acting as though you're a surgeon, you may get sectioned or arrested, depending on how that goes. So it doesn't fully work. And the same, if you're wanting to act as if you are already a billionaire, chances are you're going to want to go and spend money, which, if that's not your financial reality just yet, then that could be a little bit reckless or a little bit uncomfortable for you. So we're not talking about acting out of alignment and doing anything that's going to put us in any kind of danger. What we really want to do here is, again, come back to the feelings and also who you would be. So not the things that you would do, but if you were a billionaire, what would be the things that would be most like you in terms of your feelings? Would a billionaire be rushing around doing loads of errands all in one day in between client calls? Would a billionaire skip something that was really important to them? Would they skip going to the gym? Would they skip eating breakfast or lunch? Would a billionaire work 16 hours a day with no breaks? Would a billionaire turn down invitations to things that they actually really want to do? Or would they find a way? Would a billionaire not nurture themselves? Would they put other people's needs before their own? Things like that. Okay. Would a surgeon come home and complain about their job? Bearing in mind this is your dream job. Would you, if you had that dream job, would you be snoozing the alarm 6 times before you got out of bed? Would you be delaying even going to sleep on a night because you're dreading waking up in the morning? So think about all the things that come down to our actions, but also who we are being. Who would you be being if that was your reality already? How would you feel if that was your reality already? That's what we want to tap into. And then the action can come through as you follow your intuition and you act on inspiration. So if you really feel into that frequency of what I would be being, so in your dream job, you're still working, but you're enjoying your work. You're excited to get out of bed. You love connecting with your colleagues. You enjoy your home time as well because you value that balance. But you get excited about sharing your day with your loved ones at home. Your mood is elevated. This job, because it's your dream job, has given you that time. So you can squeeze in a workout, or you can squeeze in catching up with a friend after work, or you do enjoy a lunch break. So what have you started to do those things now where possible, but also act on any inspiration that you have? If you were enjoying those things, what else would you do? How would you behave? How would you show up? Let's take an example for someone who's an entrepreneur. So this is one that I've often used myself. So if I don't know, had a billion gazillion followers, if I was that billionaire, if I was completely fully booked, but in the best way, not in an overwhelming way, if all my offers were completely sold out and I couldn't possibly squeeze in another being, who would I be? how would I be spending my day? But also, how would I show up differently? Would I serve my clients any differently? Would my mood with my clients be any different? What would my approach be when it comes to marketing and social media? It's one of the reasons that I actually started this podcast because, it doesn't matter to me in real term whether one person hears this or a bajillion. It's not even a real number, a bajillion. But if I was being the person who did have I don't even know if this is a best-selling podcast a thing? We don't sell it, do we? Top ranking podcast, top rated. See, I don't even know. But if that was my reality, one of the things that I would need to do in order to align with that is to actually start a podcast, right? So here we are. We started a podcast. Even if it is just me sharing my wisdom with one other beautiful human that's listening to this, then we're all good. And even if not, even if nobody ever listened to this, I've had a good time. I've reconfirmed my knowledge, my wisdom. I've given myself a refresher. So, listening to your intuition, listening into your heart, who would you be that is different? Your manifestation has arrived. You already have that reality. How would your human being be being rather than doing? Anything that feels like a pull action rather than a push is one of the ways that you know that it's coming from your intuition and from your heart because you're drawn to it. You're drawn to the pleasure of it. You're magnetized towards it. So those are the actions that you want to listen to. Whenever you feel a pull, a nudge, rather than a push, you know that it is meant. And that's the inspired, aligned action that we want to take. Even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect, even better because you'll learn from it as well. You'll grow through that. That's what we want to be doing. And lastly, one of the things that can really help you with this as well is normalize having that thing, normalize having that lifestyle. Like we mentioned in the last episode, take it off the pedestal, make it normal. That is going to be your reality. It's already on the way. So we want to normalize it. Normalize being that billionaire. And if that means that you don't stay in your loungewear or your gym wear all day, or if you do, that you upgrade it to higher quality. So you're not wearing holey socks all day and your 10-year-old slippers. Great. Normalize it. Enjoy some incremental upgrades, especially if it's in your environment or like your personal items. What could you upgrade that's going to make that new lifestyle feel normal? Because it is. Take it off the pedestal. That lifestyle where you're in your dream job, that lifestyle where you are the entrepreneur that you've always wanted to be, that lifestyle where you have whatever it is that you want in the bank, whatever you're going to use it for. Think about that. Who are you going to be with that money? Are you going to be working for charities? Are you going to be going on global retreats and starting up initiatives in different communities? Start researching them. Who are you going to help? How are you going to show up differently? Who are you going to serve? What needs to upgrade in order for you to be able to do that? Maybe it's that you need a new passport. Maybe that you would, I don't know, have higher quality sun cream and SPF for when you're doing your community outreach in the middle of Africa. It could be anything. Bedding is always a lovely one. Pajamas. We spend so much time in bed and sleeping. Upgrade your pajamas. Your coffee in the morning. Whatever it is, whatever is going to help you connect in to the frequency of that new life that is already on its way to you. that in turn will also give you even more inspired action as well. As you are enjoying those incremental upgrades, you'll start to feel more of the magnetism, more of the pull, because you're entangling again in that quantum frequency of your desires. So have fun with this. It gets to be really playful, really enjoyable. And most importantly, I feel it allows you to really enjoy the journey on the way to your manifestation because you know it's inevitable, you know it's already on the way. So we want to enjoy this process because there is so much growth, so much opportunity within this process itself. Because once the desire arrives, then we're working on something else anyway. Something else is going to come up and we're going to go through this whole process again, either consciously or not. But you're listening to this, so you're going to do this with intent and fully in your conscious awareness. So I hope this lands for you. I am sure this is going to help as many of you as it needs to. As always, let me know your thoughts, your feelings in the comments. Let me know anything that you do create, that you do attract and manifest. I love to hear your wins and successes so I can celebrate you as well. And I will see you on the next episode.